Hello and welcome to Ambi Marie Knits. This is episode number 24. It is October 6th, 2023. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Ambi Marie Knits. I do want to start this episode off with I apologize if you hear any background noise. It is currently like 62 degrees outside. My windows are open. I live in an apartment. I have neighbors, so hopefully there's not too many noises, but there could be. But we're going to go ahead and get started. I have some finished objects, some whips. We're going to talk about some mystery knit-alongs. Don't worry, I will give you warning. I don't want to spoil you on any of them. So we are going to go ahead and get started. First up, my first whip. I do apologize, the light is blowing things out a little bit, but this is the Flax sweater by Telly Be Nits. I made it in the smallest size. This is number one, the best sweater pattern ever. For a top-down raglan, the pattern is amazing and it's very, very customizable. So on this one, I added in cables. I added this big one and these two little mock ones on the front and the back. And then on the sleeves, I also added just a cable. So I did this because I'm planning on making my son a cabled sweater, and I wanted to see if I could modify the flax, but on a smaller scale first. And it wasn't too bad. I just figured out how many stitches were the front stitches, for casting on the raglan. And then that's what I used to determine this. So that's what we have all the stuff extra on the side, because these are the stitches that were added on. So idea's still floating on my head. Still haven't quite figured out what I'm doing. Hopefully I can get started soon enough to get it done by Christmas. But his birthday's in January. Close enough, right? We'll see. But that's the first FO. Next up, this one is thanks to Chevyrell. She does have a YouTube. I will put the link below if you don't watch her. I greatly recommend it. She's great. But she had an emotional support chicken. I had to make one because who does not need an emotional support chicken in their life, preferably a stuffed one, so you don't have to worry about like actual feathers or anything. Yarn. Knit Picks Brava, using up some of that acrylic, sport weight, grass, and orange. The beak is actually worsted, but I don't know what the name of that color is. Canary, maybe? That would be amusing if it was. But yeah, and then just some green eyes, because that's the only color of eyes I had that were the right color. But she's great. She's soft and squishy. And I take her to work with me, and I sit her on my desk, and if I see anybody having a bad day, I work in a call center, it happens, then I say, here, have a chicken, and hopefully it makes their day brighter. So that's this finished object. Speaking of work, I also made a lot of fidgets this week. I don't have any of them because I make them and then I give them to people, because there is something amazing about the little fidgets. They're by Shauna Cohen. I'll link it below. But it's just a little square that's double knit with a marble in it, and usually made out of wool. And there's something amazing when I hand one to somebody and they squish it and then they get this look on their face like, this is cool. So that's pretty exciting because it gives us something to do working in a call center. So that's all the finished objects. Actually, I want to talk about one more. So my stripe hype sweater that I did finish, I know you saw it last week, but I got to give it to my friend Anna, who is TangledRainbowcrochetco. And I'm going to put a picture of it, and it's amazing, and I'm so glad that I have cool friends that are knitworthy and that can appreciate something like that I make for them. So it'll be just right here for you to be able to see. And that is officially all of the finished objects for this week. So let's jump into whips. The first whip I do have, I lost. Aha, found it. Sorry. Not as organized as I would like to be today. Bag, little Japanese knot bag. I love these. I did not make this one. I have made them. I don't do good with rounded edges though, but it's really cool because you do this and it carries. That's cool. But even more interesting that I have it in this bag is this sock is on the yarn carrier from the Naughty Knitress and a 3D Princess. So these are also good to carry and knit. This yarn is Pretty Twisted Yarns. It's a one-of-a-kind colorway, sadly, because it's beautiful. And I have a cuff, a leg, a shadow wrap heel, and a little bit down on the foot. It's my running around knitting. So like, once a week, me and my kid play Magic: The Gathering. And I bring this because it's something to play while I can still concentrate on other things. If I have a doctor's appointment or something like that, I'll have that. So slow going on it, but it will get done. And I love the color. Makes me happy. Next work in progress is in this awesome bag my friend Lacey gave me. So awesome. Perfect for this month. So this is the Marled Magic Shawl by Stephen West. I've worked on it a little bit, not much. It is definitely scrappy. Like, you're marling, so you're using 2 strands at a time. I'm going to show it without spilling it. I have all sorts of yarn in it. I just grab. I'm not using even anything in particular. So far, let's flip it to the right side. Got the section 1 done. There we go. Which is the eyelet pattern. Pretty cool. Now I'm on seed stitch. I have, do we have the whole this? Let's see. Last time you saw it, I was approximately right there. So I just didn't do a lot, but hey, I did something, so I'm showing it. And I'm about halfway done with the seed stitch section. So this is going to be a pretty big shawl, I think. I don't even know how many sections they are. It's just something to work on when I want size 8 needles and 2 strands of yarn. Something that goes a little bit quickly. So that's a whip. And that's all the whips that I have that are not mysteries. So if you don't want to be spoiled, you might want to stop and wait till next week. But my next one doesn't have like anything too recent. So this is the Haunted House Mkals by Telly Be Nits. And it is a cowl. It is 1 clue a day for 13 days. I have not finished yesterday's clue. So by the time this goes up later tonight, hopefully if you're doing it, you've already seen through tonight. I actually have not even looked at today's. I don't know what it is. But I'll look at that eventually. Fall bag made by me. I really need to make me some bigger Halloween bags. I'll get there. So this is where I'm at. Alright, so I'm sorry if this is blowing it out. I do not remember the names of these yarns. The yellow, the pink, the green, and a little bit of brown, those are all a cashmere blend. The white is bear. But this is supposed to look like spiders. This bobble that I did a terrible job on is supposed to look like a witch's eye. The orange, those are little mini cauldrons. Green's kind of cool. Those are broomsticks, as you can kind of see. And then the color work, I'm only half done with, so you can't tell that those are going to be little brown bats. So it's been fun. It's been a little bit overwhelming trying to keep up with it, but it's been fun. Needle stoppers, I think spookily appropriate. These are from Pretty Twisted Yarns. So yeah, I'm thinking this is the top, and it's gonna fit like this. I'm not actually for sure. This is my first time, I think, making a Telly Be Nits pattern. Her cowls are amazing. Like, she's got some really, really awesome ones. Even if you don't want the mystery one, she's got another Halloween one that's really cool. So there's this one. Then the next one is the Mkals. I'm not actually going to show that because there's been some changes come around today. I started it, I got through section 4, and then there's an update that, I'm trying to figure out how to word this properly. The way it looks isn't something that is okay necessarily. So he's changed it and he's updated the pattern. Everything's good now, but I do have to rip out what I've done and start over. So I'll still show you my colors if you haven't seen them yet. So here's my bag I made. I've used this for my Mkals past 3 years. And I have this color. This color. We're going backwards in colors, by the way, y'all. That's my darkest, my second darkest. This one. And then this one. Okay, can I do it? Can I do it? Nope. I tried, y'all. It done rolled halfway across the floor. But yeah, that's my yarns. So that is all of my whips. I do have some other stuff I want to show you. So speaking of Mkals, I thought I would show off the last 2 years because I did do the past 2 years. So this one is last year's. It was fun. I'm glad I did it, but it was a lot. So this is the Twist and Turns shawl. Yarn is Moonglow Yarn Co. The only color I can think of, the pink is something orchid, pink orchid maybe? Something like that. The brown is Burnt Hollow. I know that. I do not know the color of green, but that was section 1 last year that about killed us all, but it's beautiful. And then we've got this. Oops. These stripes. We've got the twisty twists there. On the bottom cables, there was a thing where you could do I-cord in there. I did not do that at all. And there's this side. And I modified mine a little bit, so there was an extra section down here that you can add. I did not add that. And when I finished mine, I like kind of sewed these together so where it almost made an edge. It's a little bit of an awkward shawl. Like, it's like a scarf, but wider. So I don't really wear it a lot because it's just not, I don't know. I think there's some people about me able to wear it like a poncho or something, which is cool. But it's pretty. So that's that one. And then now I'm trying to remember if I've shown these before. If I have, I'm sorry. If not, if you're new to the channel, hey, cool, you get to see them again. So this one is the first one I did. This is a shawlography, and this was an absolute blast to make. So this yarn, I actually dyed all this yarn. It is an interesting base, something that Picks had on sale a few years ago, and it's an 80-20 non-superwash, but it is the softest non-superwash I've ever felt in my life. I can't tell that it's not superwash. But we had this, and I can't see what I'm showing you now, because I cannot get the whole thing in there. The little shrimpies are weird. Oh, that's what I did. Somebody told me you could do that. So there's little shrimpies right here. I like crocheted those together. Like just put them through another. So with the whelps, the bobbles, the brioche. I love the border. I do love that. The only problem with this shawl is hold on. See this section right here? The blue and black triangles? That is a slip stitch section. I messed up. I slipped something too tight and there is no give. So like right here, you can see there's stretch. Of course, it's brioche. Up here, I can grab it. There's stretch. But in this spot right there, there is no stretch at all, and that's because I did it too tightly. It makes it annoying to wear, because when you go to like throw it over your shoulders, you feel that it doesn't stretch right there, and I don't like it. So I don't wear it, but it is gorgeous. So those are the 2 I've done so far. My only other Stephen West shawl I've made is I do have Vertices Unite. I do not have that out here right now. So that's all of that. That's all of my knitting I have to share. I do have a little bit more though. So I know I talk about all of my people a lot. But Andy the Knitress, she's one that has the Naughty Knitress. She recently did something called Just Add Color. So what she did is she got together a whole bunch of different dyers. Some people who do it for a living, some people who don't. And gave them 3 colors and said, dye a skein of yarn with these 3 colors. However you want to, just use these colors. Then we send the yarn to her, and then she does some videos on it. I will link them below. And then she cranks it into socks and sends it back to us. Pretty cool. So, I want to show off my yarn and the socks. I don't know if I have a picture of it. I dyed mine in a jar, actually. I put like dry dye powder and the yarn in just a mason jar. I filled it up with water and stuff and set it outside for a few days and then washed it. This is the little bit that's left that did not get made into a sock. I'm going to be gifting this to a friend. So there's that. And the colors were Sapphire Blue, Tangelo, and True Black if you're using Dharma colors, which I was. So that's that. We'll see how it knit up though. It looked really cool. And I dropped one. I'm dropping stuff today. So this is a knit up. Like, it turned out pretty cool. Like, It's way more balanced than I thought. I mean, this one is a little bit darker than this one. Especially if I can find a picture of the skein, I will put it in. But I don't know if I can. But yeah, this is what they look like. I tried them on. They're really cozy. She puts Lycra in her socks. She cranked these on her Erlbacher sock machine. She puts Lycra in them. And it's my first time wearing socks with a Lycra. And it's very interesting. Like, it definitely does give it a little bit more thickness and a little bit more stretch to it. So that is nifty. And that's all my knitting content I have. A couple things I also want to discuss. Next week. Haven't figured out how I'm doing next week yet. I am going with my sister to, well, the name of the place is called Ha Ha Tonka. I will see if I can put a picture of it. It's an old castle by the lake up in the hills. It's gorgeous. I think we're going to get our first frost tonight, which means the leaves are going to start changing, which I'm so excited because it's going to be like hiking and it's beautiful. So I think I'm going to record early before I leave in the morning, and then, because we're not leaving until like 10, and get that ready to upload, and then I might try and do a vlog of the day, because I am planning on getting knitting done. So maybe I can come up with a vlog of the knitting I've done while we go on this trip. It's only like an hour and a half away, so it's not too bad, but like my car knitting, and I'm definitely going to be knitting while we're hiking, because that's just fun to do. So we'll see exactly how I work that for next week. Reading and watching. I have not watched anything besides YouTube, and quite frankly, not much of that, which I hate because it's Vlogtober, and there's so many people that I want to watch, and I'm having a hard time sitting down and concentrating to actually watch YouTube. But I have been listening to books more. Newest one I started listening to was Sarah J. Maas, Throne of Glass. Not that far into it yet, but so far it seems interesting. Speaking of Sarah J. Maas, the Court of Thorn and Roses series. I'm still working on book 3, and I think I'm almost done with it, and I'm just like, what's going to happen next? It's A Court of Wings and Ruin, I think. And yeah, that series, I didn't think it was going to be good. After the first one, I was like, it's worth reading. If you like those types of books, I definitely recommend starting this one. Just get through that first book, and yeah, it changes a lot. And that's all I have for this week. I do hope everybody who's heading towards fall and winter is enjoying the change in temperatures. I hope anybody I know who's heading towards spring is also enjoying those change in temperatures as well. And I do want to thank everybody for watching. Have a great weekend.